2.5%. Ravi Menon, the Analyst-IT services at Elara, joins us now to talk about the way forward and what he expects from many of these stocks. Ravi, hi, good morning. It seems like the worst is not over as far as the Infosys stock price is concerned. Do you think it's only the fact that the management was cautious about the second half of the year that's spooking the stock, or are there some other concerns now, and how would you approach the Infy stock?
See, I think there are two concerns. One is that people are worried that weak momentum in the second half also implies weak growth in FY17, and I think that's a wrong interpretation of the guidance. I think the guidance should be taken with a pinch of salt. One is that they probably are factoring in something for unknown unknowns, as Dick Cheney once put it. So you have to think of that. There is no advantage to raising the guidance. 6 months in this volatile macro environment is still a long time. You don't know. You just had Deutsche Bank have to pay up a huge fine. They had won a big deal from Deutsche Bank. Maybe Q4 they had factored in some revenue of that to come through. Now we no longer can be sure that revenue will come through. Who knows, maybe the contract could even get cancelled. So for such eventualities, I think they would probably raise the guidance only once Q3 is over. My own estimates are for them to come in slightly ahead of their guidance, top end of 8.4%. My estimates are for 8.8%, which is the same as what I estimate for TCS for this full year. So I'm not concerned by that. And I think that another concern was, Rajiv Bansal's exit. That, yes, I mean, that's a little more of a concern. We have to see how, who will, how Ranga will actually be, taking out. I mean, he has come from ICICI Bank before coming to Infosys. So, it's, I think it's in good hands. He should be, it should be a smooth transition. We don't really see any reasons to worry. And Infosys has a strong management bench, as they keep talking about it. So I don't see any reasons why that should really weigh down either. We have increased our target price to 1,330. We are giving it a premium to TCS now at 21 times 1 year forward.
1,350, you said? Okay.
1,330, that's correct.
Okay. Well, since you almost were giving us some idea of your opinion on TCS, what are you expecting today? Not much?
Actually, I am expecting them to do quite well. 4.2% in constant currency terms, 3.9% in dollar terms. But I think that'll still be a little short of what they did last year and even the year before that. So it is, I think that the base effect is one reason, heightened competition is another. And then there is also the higher attrition that is weighing down on the supply side for them. And that will again be a number that I'll watch out for. If you recall last quarter we talked about attrition, how that might be an issue, and I think this quarter too that will be something I'll watch out for.
Okay, so what would your target price be on TCS? And considering that TCS has faltered for the last 4 quarters, do you get a sense that if there is some minor disappointment today as well, the gap between TCS and Infosys could narrow further, or that doesn't seem to be the case given that Infosys as well is cautioning about the second half of the year?
I think that yes, people will wait. If TCS does disappoint, if it comes in say anything below 4% in CC terms, I think yes, that will be considered a disappointment. And but then you don't really have too much. If someone is cautious about the whole space, then people might say that everybody is cautious about growth. HCL Tech has given a warning. Infy is given not very encouraging guidance, so people might actually turn skeptical. But my ground level checks don't suggest anything of that sort. Demand is quite healthy, so I would urge my clients to buy into that. And our preferred picks are Infosys and HCL Tech over TCS.
So you wouldn't be worried about the way HCL Tech has fallen? I mean, I agree that a lot of people believe that revenue warning has been priced in. But the fact is that it doesn't seem to see any recovery. There was an attempt made to recover, but that got sold into as well. So for the next couple of months, don't you get a sense that perhaps one could get better levels in HCL Tech?
I don't think so. I think once the results are out and the commentary about this, the contract that got restructured, that becomes a little more clear. people will actually buy into it. I think it's just about the uncertainty that's keeping investors away right now.
Okay. Then let's get the mid-cap space actually. Is there anything in the mid-cap space? You only spoke about Infi and HCL Tech as your preferred picks.
Yeah, the only mid-cap I cover right now is Cyient, on which I have a buy. I don't cover anything else as of now.
Okay. Well, in TCS itself, what would you watch out for from the management commentary or the details of the results? Which parameters?
So I would watch out for how the momentum in the US. So last quarter, Infi added almost as much revenue in the United States as North America as TCS did. So this quarter, if that narrows even further, I think that would be a very encouraging sign for Infosys. The second thing would be how widespread, how broad-based is the revenue growth for TCS. Infi actually showed very good broad-based growth this quarter. So there are pockets of worry, especially say in insurance, if that actually deepens a little more for TCS. They had spoken about weakness in Diligenta. If that's continuing, and if there are any further issues in the Japanese integration, those are things that we would watch out for.
So in Q3, I didn't get your numbers. What are you expecting for Infosys in revenue growth in Q3 and Q4? Because they did highlight, they as well highlighted issues with respect to the insurance vertical and furloughs with some of their banking clients. How much do you think the revenues could slow down to in Q3 and Q4?
Q3, I'm expecting Infosys to clock 0.4% in dollar terms, and Q4 1.4%.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much for joining us, Ravi, with your thoughts on both Infosys and TCS.